Hey everybody, it's Steven with a PH at RipFan8. I'm coming to you today to do a video pertaining to one of my favorite ball players. I never did a tribute to him card-wise, a card tribute to him back when he passed away last year, and that is Brooks Robinson from my favorite team, the Baltimore Orioles. I'm wearing my Brooks jersey today. And I thought it was fitting to basically do a card showing, a card run of what I have of Brooks, especially since the Showcase Showdown did him this past week. Mike from Baseball Collector and Chris from Missouri. It was an excellent episode. Another awesome comeback by Chris, and I've watched each and every one of them, and I truly really enjoy them. So I basically put out my Brooks cards, and to the best of my knowledge, at least I believe, the only card which you'll see that I currently don't have of his base runs that the two guys are showing would be I believe it was the 63 Flair. So I don't have that one, but all the other ones I do. I have many that are actually graded, but the later versions from 77 to 71-ish, I think, I've not sent them off for grading, so I won't be able to count the graded number of cards to the run. But with further ado, I'll start off. I'll show all the cards. I also want to mention I'm going to be showing a few other Brooks stuff I have. Not all of it, but I'm going to show some of the OPC cards. I have some of the later years in OPC also. So let's start off, not part of the run, but the 1978 Brooks. It's just a wonderful card. I have on some of my non-graded cards, I've kind of given it a tentative grade on myself based on the back. You can see I put a number on the back of it. I kind of figured this one would get possibly up to a 7 if I were to send it in to be graded. So that's the 78. We'll get on to the run now. The 1977, again, not graded, but I figured it would possibly be close to a 7 again. Is the 77 Brooks. Beautiful. So I would basically get 5 points if I was keeping score with those gentlemen. On to the 76. I believe this card would be garnish a possibly 7, possibly better, but just a fine, beautiful looking card. On to the 75. Again, a raw card, but I figured this could possibly get a 7 also, is the 75. Another good looking Brooks card. I like the color coordination, but again, a beautiful card. I also, on that year of the 77, I have the 75 OPC Brooks Robinson, and it is graded by PSA in an 8. That's a beautiful looking card. But again, OPG graded in an 8, so I think it's wonderful. Let's head on to the 74. I have the 74 in a raw, which I kind of figure it could possibly garner a 6, possibly. It's a nice looking card. Him just staring off onto the field, I guess. Let's move on to for 74, he also has the All-Star card with Ron Santo. I have that raw. Let's move on to the 73. 73 looks like he's, I believe one person said, doing what he did best in the field, getting ready for a ball that had been pitched. Again, another raw card. So that would only get me 5 points. I figured it could possibly grade up to a 7 based on what I've looked at. On to 72 now. I have many 72 cards I want to show you. Bunch of them OPC, but we'll look at his first regular card. And I figure that's probably one of my lower grades, possibly a 5. with any luck, maybe a 6, but I figured probably only a 5. So he also has the Boyhood Photo of Stars. He's got the 71 Game 2 World Series with Mark Belanger in the background. He also has the 71 AL Playoff Champs. Again, Belanger, where he's just crossed home plate, going to give him a fist pump, it looks like. So these are all just wonderful cards. Now I'm going to get into 3 OPGs. Boyhood Stars, Young Brooks, and again, fielding at play, and crossing home plate again. These are OPGs from the 72. So the 71, I have the, again in the raw, is I figure possibly could garner a 5. So again, a raw card. Not one of my favorite cards based on the pose, but still a Brooks card, and you can't go wrong with a Brooks card. And I have Game 5 World Series. Brooks Robinson commits robbery, which as everyone knows, that's what he's famous for. I mean, many, I believe something up to 16 gold gloves possibly, I can't remember. But there's Brooks. Now we're going to head into the 1970. I'm going to head first with the one of my first cards I can actually add points besides having the card. In 1970, I have it in a 7, SGC 7. Really sharp looking card. Really pleased with it. I have the Brooks in All-Star card also that I figured it possibly could get up to a 6 with any luck. I figured a 6, possibly 5 or better, but there's the All-Star card. I also have it in OPG, the All-Star card, and really a low grade that would be, but I still have it, which it's my card, and I'm very happy with it. So very pleased with it. So I'm going to move on to the 1969, and from here out, majority of the cards except for one I already have graded. So the 1969, I have it in SGC 5. It's a really sharp, 7.5. I sit corrected. I want to say it's a beautiful looking card. I like it. He's up the bat. Love those hard hats with just the way they sit on top of their heads with no earpieces. I mean, this day and age, you got guys throwing the balls the way they throw the ball. You want to make sure you got an earpiece, and sometimes that chin strap coming around protecting your jaw. So that's the 1969. I also have the All-Star card, the Sporting News, American League All-Stars. I figured that could garner possibly a 5. And I also have the checklist where Brooks is on the checklist. Another sharp looking card. On to 68, and this is one of the last ones that I do not have. The 68, it's not graded, but I figure again, possibly a 5. But a good looking card, a little off center, obviously left to right, but still not a bad looking card. I also have the All-Star card. I figured possibly that could be a 5 or 6 minimum, sharp looking card. And I also have the 1968 Bird Belters, Brooks with Frank Robinson. I have that in a 6. Another sharp looking card. To finish off the 68, I have the Topps game set. It's raw also, but I love it. I love this. I love the my Brooks cards. So moving on to 1967, pardon me. I have the Brooks in a 4. This obviously, as everyone says, is a tough card to get. I have a 4. I think it looks pretty decent. The corners are a little soft, but from the centering perspective, it's not bad. Moving on to 1966, I have the Brooks in an SGC 6. Again, and not another bad looking example. Keep this going. I got the Brooks 1965 in a 7. 1964, I have the Brooks in a 5, PSA 5. I also have the 1964 that I just purchased just recently. I believe I did a video about it, one of my last videos. The 64 Top Stand-Up. I have it in a 5. Love this card. I love the color of it. The green and yellow. It's just a sharp looking card with his name in red. Really love this card. Looked for it for a while. Moving on to the 63. I have the 63 Brooks in a 6. Again, little off left to right, but very sharp, very good registration, a really sharp looking card. I also have, even though I don't have the 63 Flair, I'm looking for it. I've been looking for it for a while, and I will be getting it with sometime this year just to try and complete the run, but I also have the 1963 Post Serial. It's raw, and I figured it's probably a 3 maybe, possibly a little better. Moving on now to the 1962. I have the 1962. This is one of the cards I don't have in either PSA or SGC, but it is graded with BCCG. They give it a 9. It's a sharp looking card, it really is, but I would think it would grade with SGC or PSA, possibly an 8, no lower than the 7. But it's a really sharp looking card. It's really well centered. It's not that bad, so it could possibly grade an 8. But on the safe side, when I do crack it and send it in, if I do crack it and send it in, I'm going to look for I'm hoping for a 7. I also have the 1962 All-Star card. And that is in a 6, and that's a really sharp looking card. On to 1961 now. I have the 1961 in a 5, and it's still a pretty decent looking card. A little off-centered left to right, but beyond that, it's a sharp looking card. I also have the 61 Topps All-Star card, Brooks Robinson All-Star card in a 4. And last of the decade of the 60, I have the 1960 Brooks in a 6. It's a sharp looking card also. So we're going to move on to the 50s now. The 59, a lot of people like the look of the 59. I like the look of every year, to tell you the truth. I mean, the vintage is just wonderful. I really, so pleased, and I get tickled pink, boy, when I switched over to the vintage this past year. But the 59 is a PSA 5. And again, left to right, but off-centered, but it's still a sharp looking card. On to his second year card. A lot of people with the 58 are not fans of the look of this card, and I kind of agree. I mean, it certainly looks a little different than the first and third year cards of Brooks, but I still like the card. It's a nice looking design. So I have it in a PSA 5. And onto the rookie card, last but not least, I picked this one up as one of the when I actually switched over to really concentrating on vintage. This is one of the cards besides me picking up the my first Jackie card, which was a 55 back in Strongsville in April. Shout out to Chris from Missouri, Don's Field of Dreams, Scott, Reindeer Studios, and my good buddy, Mike, Canadian Cards, for getting me into, taking me down to Strongsville down that weekend and meet these gentlemen and start my my road down to the vintage and getting on YouTube and all that and becoming a part of this great community. I ended up picking up, get back to the story, I ended up picking up the 1957 Topps Brooks Robinson rookie. I picked it up raw. I figured it would get a 2. Mike figured it'd be a little higher. We had a little competition. We squared off. It came back an SGC 3. just a really, really well-centered card, I believe. Corners are rough. That's why I figured it would only possibly get a 2, but two and a half, hoping for a 3. It came back at 3, and I'm really pleased with that. So I'm really happy that I got the opportunity to do a tribute run of my Brooks Robinson cards, and I believe it was quite fitting doing it this week, following up the Showcase Showdown between Baseball Collector Mike and Chris from Missouri. Just to say roughly what I added my totals up. I ended up getting 186.5 based on Mike and Chris's point scale, and that's with 8 cards that are not graded. So if those cards were graded, I think I would have done quite well this week with their competition. They have weekly competition. So, but I'm pretty pleased that I finally got the opportunity to show my Brooks cards. I've always been an incredible fan of Brooks from afar. Growing up an Oriole fan back in the 60s, racing home to watch ball games when they were, especially in the early 70s, out in Oakland. It'd be 4 o'clock a game out there, and I race home from school to see my Orioles play out in Oakland. And yeah, it's just a great thing that Brooks played for my team, and I'm really happy with my run of Brooks. It's probably one of the better runs I have of any ball player, and obviously it would be because of Brooks. Outside of Cal Ripken, I have a ton of his, but this Brooks run from the vintage part is just exceptional. So I want to thank everyone for, if they hung out till the end of the video. It's a lot longer than I generally like to do, but I want to say thank you very much, and thanks to Mike and Chris for their Showcase Showdown, and I look forward weekly to watch it. And I'm really looking forward to this year's Strongsville. It's in April, and there seems to be a lot of people from this community coming, and I know a few, and I'm really super excited meeting a whack of you guys. Boy, it's gonna, and there's some heavy hitters coming, and I feel so thankful that I'm part of this community and the love that everyone has shown me, and I really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And Mike, Samuel, thank you for introducing me to all this. But thanks everyone for watching, and we'll talk soon. Thank you. Have a good day.